I was wrong a little bit. I took the Dolphins, but I also said, first of all, I said it was going to be 27-17, but wrong team. The under hit, that's 8-3 in night games of the under. I advised taking -9.5 both sides, but I did not see another Tua injury coming. Slung down on his head. That's the big news. I had no audio. It looked terrible. I know there was a cart on the field for a half an hour. I felt like it's one of those times you feel like you're rooting for the gladiators in ancient Rome. Like, what the hell am I watching here? But it looked bad. Parlay Kid, tell me. I don't know, because when I'm watching with no audio, I was at an event, and I see the first thing I see is the fingers. I don't want to get too graphic, but it was really his fingers were bent, and I'm like, okay. I felt he fell on his hand. And so for 10 minutes, I'm like, wow, what for someone who fell on his hand? But it wasn't that. Head hit the turf hard, and he's out. I think he traveled home with the team, though.
Yeah, he did. That's what they're saying, Sal, that Tua is traveling back with the team. That's a great sign. Probably hoping the Dolphins can save a little bit of face here, because they are getting pounded by doctors and others in the media saying, how is this guy even on the field today? There's going to be lawsuits. I don't know if that's all happening, but boy, I'm sure upper management, coaches, team doctor, I think everybody is in one way breathing a sigh of relief that he's traveling home with the team, but another way, I think they're scared right now. I think they're scared right now, I'm sure.
Well, there's good news. They announced he's starting next Sunday.
Oh, no. I'm just kidding. I'm honestly, like, they could find out that he has 2 concussions in 4 days, and then I don't know what the appropriate punishment is there for that, but it's definitely not what the league wants, Harry, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Harry, you seemed like you wanted to talk.
Bridgewater.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, just saying, after that, though, Bridgewater came in, let him down the field at the end of the first half, made it 14-12. Thought he may give them a little juice heading into the third quarter, into the second half, but Burrow pulls it out at the end. Nice job by the Bengals, and now the AFC champs are back in business.
Well, they were winning, right? The Dolphins in the fourth quarter, was that right? Well, they were winning 15-14 in the fourth quarter. But here's the thing: it looked like it was bad. So Tua gets hurt, right? They put Bridgewater in on like a 3rd and 17. I think they get 16. They punt, right? And then Higgins long touchdown, right? So you figure that's it. I think what did that make it, like 14-6 or something? I'm confused with the score, but you figure that would be
it. Did make it 14-6.
Yeah, all right. So then, but the Dolphin Bridgewater, I didn't see a lot of it, Bri. Bridgewater kept them in it?
Yeah, Bridgewater was solid. I mean, they blew that opportunity. When they went up 15-14, they really needed to score a touchdown on that drive. And then after Cincy took the lead, then they came down, moved the ball a little bit, and then Bridgewater was picked. So that kind of ended.
Yeah, they were. I mean, they were in Cincy territory. They were. I mean, that ball was picked on like the 15-yard line.
Yeah.
Miami could have easily have taken the lead there. All of a sudden, it's a 27-15 final, and you kind of think wasn't that close. I mean, if Bridgewater doesn't get picked there,
he underthrows
take the lead.
Gesicki, right? And then
he threw it like Gesicki wasn't looking for the ball. I don't know what happened there. He just wasn't looking.
And then a long pass to Jamar Chase.
No, I mean, look, Bridgewater's a great backup to have, right? He obviously could probably, again, it's like we've said before. I mean, he could obviously start maybe on some teams, but he's the type of guy you want as a backup. He did make a couple of really nice plays.
But Bri, like you said, when they had 1st and goal at the 5 and only got ran up the middle twice in a row.
Right, it wasn't his fault, though.
It wasn't his fault.
It was just the play calling.
14 for 23, 193, a pick and a touchdown is that's what you ask for a guy who didn't take first snaps when I say all week for 3 days.
Did he land at 193? It's funny because at halftime.
What was he?
I think the over-under at halftime was, 193 there or 193?
Total?
I
think I said that. Yeah, it was right in there.
So Burrow goes over his number, 287. He ends up with 2 touchdowns, only 1 sack, which is the good news for the Bengals, right? You want that number low. Harry, you win the bet for all of us again. 2 in a row. You had Barkley Monday night, Joe Mixon to score first Thursday night, even though you did not spend $36 on Joe Mixon in the free agent fantasy pickup. You picked up Samaje Perine, who had 1 carry and 0 yards, right?
Beautiful, good. I didn't start him.
Oh, you didn't?
Good. Didn't start him, and I went. Look, I had Cincinnati. I had over Burrow on passing yards and first touchdown. Mixon. I'll take that for a night.
There you go. And T. Higgins, obviously, with the big grab now at 124 on the night. Tyreek Hill at 10. And Paulie, Kid, you predicted a big night out of Hill after a bad one or mediocre one last week. Yeah,
that's correct. So I think I got a little bit lucky because I jumped off of Waddle, jumped on Gesicki and Hill. That worked out for me big time.
Right.
Yeah, good one.
Did I win with Boyd? I'm looking now because I just got back. I had 47. What did I say for an over?
I thought it was over 41 and a half.
Good 41 and a half, right?
He got it right away. He got it right away. He had a long reception right away.
Yeah, I'm really good. All right. So Burrow over wins. Boyd wins over. Gesicki, 23. That wins. Wow, we had some close ones.
My play.
Almost.
Chase didn't.
Almost, Bri. Chase touchdown.
Almost at the end. We really needed that. I had a lot of money on him to score. That's
bombs away, Ski. Bombs away.
Right. Bombs went just over the total for Joe Burrow. But 27-15, you're right. Closer game than the score indicates. But Bengals win. Now the Dolphins 3-1. We don't know what to make of this team now without Tua. And I have no idea what the diagnosis is. If we see him 6 weeks out for the rest of the year, what would you say, Paulie Kid? I mean, just knowing what they're not going to want to take any kind of chance, right? So he'd have to clear 17 protocols at this point.
Well, look, we've seen football players come back the next week after concussions, right? So if they're just diagnosing this and saying, "Hey, this was really just his first one," we could see him there's no way he's back in a week, but we could see him in a couple weeks if that's the case. I think the Dolphins have such backlash right now that we might not see him for at least till half the season is over.
They're going to be punished at least a month without being punished. Like someone's going to get in there and be like, "Hey,
100%,
you're sitting this guy," and
100%,
without us even sanctioning you. So that's that. All right. So thanks to Harry getting us on the board. An NFLPA investigation is ongoing. Harry gets us on the board. The investigation's not about Harry winning a bet, but it should be.
I thought the way you said that, I thought it was. I thought
I'm getting
confused. Harry.
I know, Babyface.
Could be a couple things.
Babyface is sending me notes in the middle of a sentence, but Mixon plus 410. Good job. All right, listen, whatever you're betting, teasers, over, under, do it through Caesars because they have all the names. Caesar himself, Cleo, the Mannings, Henrik Lundqvist, and now yours truly. Yes, Against All Odds is now a proud member of the Caesars Empire. And you know what it is that sets Caesars Sportsbook and Casino apart from the others? It's the perks. It's the only sports betting app with Caesars rewards. So every time you place a bet, win or lose, you get reward credits, which could use towards game tickets, bonuses, experience, free stays at iconic Caesars destinations, and more. And your very first bet, check this out, Harry. It's on Caesars. Up to $1,250. If you win, congrats. If you don't, you'll get it all back as a free bet. That first bet also gives you 1,000 tier credits and 1,000 reward credits, putting you closer to the types of perks only Caesars can offer. So download the app, use promo code CZRFULL, and go full Caesars this season. All right, Jacksonville at Philadelphia. This is a fun one. What's the number here, Brian? Is it still 6.5? What are we, 6.5, 45.5? Doug Peterson against his old team. Not enough is made out of this. What happened with Doug Peterson and him, agreeing to screw the Giants. Shouldn't this been a huge deal? They completely screwed the Giants as an Eagles coach, taking Hurts out. I don't know if it was halftime or somewhere in the third quarter. I can't remember. And it prevented the Giants from making the playoffs. And then he gets fired in the offseason, right? So, interesting matchup right there. Eagles, one of the few 3-0 against the spread. Actually, are they the only ones now? The Dolphins are out against the spread? Might be the only 3-0 team. We got to check that. Check that, babyface. More importantly, Jacksonville. I would like them more here, except they're 1-18 straight up in their past 19 road games and 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 road games. And the Eagles, can't believe I'm saying this, but I love Hurts in this situation. He's a mobile quarterback, not like last week. The quarterback the Jags played was the guy who was wincing, Justin Herbert, with every drop back. 24-16. You don't think that's enough points, Brian? You like it over?
Yeah, I'm going to go over it. I really want to take the Jaguars. I do think this is one of the best matchups of the day. It's a fun one. But I get, I wanted to take the Jaguars, but I could see where the Eagles maybe, cover. I think maybe you talked about this with Simmons the other night, but you could see where they're 3-0 so far against the spread. I could see them being one of those teams who all of a sudden go like 13-4 against the spread, right, on the season or something like that. So I do worry about maybe them pulling away late, but I thought 45.5 was low. I do think the Eagles and Hurts are going to score plenty of points. And the thing about the last two, even though both of these teams have gone under somewhat, I think, the Eagles kind of coasted the last 2 weeks in the second half, right? They haven't had to do anything. They've been in control of these games. I do think Jacksonville's going to make them work a little bit. So I think there's going to be some points put up in this one. I'm going to say it's a 27-23 game. Eagles take the lead late in that game.
All right. Hey, I hope it's a good game. I hope it's fun. We like those, of course I want the Jaguars to win ultimately, but I just don't think there's enough there. All right, Buffalo at Baltimore. Ravens a 3-point underdog. 51 is the over-under. Hard to believe one of these two is going to have 2 losses through 4 weeks. And I think you guys will agree, maybe not, that the winning quarterback will be the MVP favorite. It's hard to believe that Lamar Jackson
Makes
now,
sense.
I'm going to become one of those jerks I hate that's talking about the MVP in late September. But 10 touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, right, is like 4th.
Yep.
That's 7-1, right, Harry? A little weird.
Yeah.
And so you look at Josh Allen is plus 300. If he wins this game, what's he going to be, plus 250? It's kind of crazy. But anyway, I'm going
Makes
Bills.
sense.
Buffalo 7-1-1 against the spread in the last 9 following an ATS loss, and 6-1-1 against the spread in the last 8 following just a straight-up loss. Nothing against Lamar. He's going to put up good numbers, but Ravens allowed 68 points in the last 2 weeks, and that's not good against a hungry Bills offense. A lot of dumb things happened last week. No more temper tantrums from Ken Dorsey, at least not this week. This time, 30-23. I'm going Bills. Harry, you're with me.
Yeah, like you said, Sal, despite what Lamar Jackson's been able to do, Baltimore's secondary, like you said, giving up 68 points the last 2 weeks, and more bad news for this Baltimore team. Their nose tackle, Michael Pierce, who signed a 3-year deal in March, is now done for the season. On the Bills side, offense is just rolling. Allen already has over 1,000 yards. Bills had over 500 yards from scrimmage last week against the Dolphins. In their other 2 games, they've had over 400. I think Allen really exploits the secondary here, and I think they cover and win by 10. And in fact, the Bills, the last 14, this is crazy, last 14 wins have all been by double digits, and their last 22 of 23 wins have been by double digits, which is wild. Shows you how great Josh Allen really is. So I'm going to take the Bills, and I'm going to lay the
The
points.
thing that bothers me, I think they signed Xavier Rhodes today. The Bills, their secondary is pretty banged up too, right? Poyer's out and Mike.
Yeah.
And Poyer Hyde's out. Poyer missed the game last week.
It just
still,
could be a
right.
slugfest, but I still like giving the 3 here for the team that they typically bounce back after a loss and a bad one at that.